If you're sore, you can always make it a little less range of motion. And then we're gonna step forward, 1, 2, 3, and then you step together and you step with the other leg. It's big. 1, 2, 3. That's good. Keep going. Oh, it is on. Okay. It's gonna be a good day. Look at this weather. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, oh yeah, the weather's going to be fantastic the whole rest of the week. I think it's just
No, it's a couple weeks, I think. Yeah.
It's a week from Monday.
For Monday, and then our anniversary is the end of the month. So I love it.
Oh,
She's been married 1 week less than my youngest child.
Funny. 2000.
Year 000.
oh, nice. It's
Yeah.
easy to remember how many years.
It makes it real easy to remember
Then
when
the-
they're
we'll go
how many
over
years
the
they've been
top.
married.
Yeah. It was always easy to remember my dad too. December 1st, he would have been 100 years old. And he lived to a healthy 93, so
And then we'll make this
pretty
twist,
darn good.
lifting up the back heel.
Yeah, I was going through I was cleaning out files and I hit off everybody's obituaries and I have outlived everyone by 3 years now.
Wow.
And you were young, so.
Still doing okay. Not my 2 aunts, but they were crackers.
And then we'll bring one leg forward and we're going into a lunge position if you can. And lifting up into warrior 3 and then coming back down. So go at your own pace. Warming up those small muscles. We'll do a couple more. This thing is distracting. And then we'll bring the feet together. On your inhale, come up on your toes if you can. And on your exhale, dropping the heels slowly as you bend the fingers towards you. It's called painting the wall with light. Inhale, you come up.
How very Martin Vasosky. He's a photographer who paints with it.
Oh.
It's just amazing to see his stuff. I swear it was a painting.
We'll do one more. Then you bring the other leg forward. And you're just going into the lunge and then warrior 3. Taking your time. We'll do one more. And then we'll bring the feet together, and this time the heels are together and the toes are out. And you're gonna go all the way up. Like a ballerina.
Oh,
And back down.
don't say that word. She's leaving. Yes, she's
Where's she
leaving.
gonna go?
She hasn't told anyone. I know, but I don't feel comfortable telling because she didn't.
And then making fists, and you're going around in a circle. So it's basically from the rib cage up. And we'll go the opposite direction, taking your time. And breathing through this, just kind of feel the rib cage, your lower back, your upper back, your neck, your shoulders. Just check in with them today. Bring it into a center, and we're gonna add on to the warrior 3. So we're gonna go from a lunge to warrior three, and then we bring it back down and do a nice big crescent lunge with a little bit of a back bend. So you come from here, you go up, you come back down, squeeze your abdominals in, feel that hip flexor. However you want to move your arms, because I've done it differently each time.
So don't hold any of it. Keep moving through the whole thing.
Yeah, you're just moving through the whole thing. And then we'll hold back and crescent lunge to start the sequence off. Bringing the hands behind the head if you need to warm them up. Maybe put them on your neck. And look up towards the leaves. Taking one more deep breath. And then coming forward, looking over your toes, and just finding a place where you can take your shoulders back, feel a little bit of stretch in your calf. And then if you like to, you can rotate from side to side. Your hands might touch the ground. You just find what works well for you. One more deep breath. We're gonna come all the way up, turn the back foot so you're going into warrior two. So left foot will be facing towards me, right foot back. Or whatever side you're on. And we're gonna warm up the hands. So we'll go together. Give yourself a little excited friction. Maybe get the back of the hands. Bring the arms all the way up. Deep inhale. And then exhale, let them go. We'll do that again. We'll do it 3 times through. So just building some heat. Noticing your shoulders, they like to tense up, but that actually turns off some circulation. So we want to try to relax as much as we can when we're cold. Bring it up. Deep inhale. And then exhale, looking forward. Last time, building some heat. We're just excited for the day. Bring it all the way up, deep inhale. And then exhale. And we'll straighten the front leg. And so you're just going from straight legs to bent leg. And watching your knee placement. Do a couple more. We're going to add the arms to this, so we're doing reverse warrior. As we bend, we're going to reach and then come back and straighten. So do it at your own pace. You might reach a little further each time. Let's bend and reach back, straighten and come tall. Do a couple more. And then holding that warrior two again, so bending the knee if you can. And just going from side angle to regular warrior two. So we're just trying to stay warm. We'll do a couple more. Someone's heating up over there. And then we can straighten the front leg, turn the toes in. So we're just going into a forward fold. Wherever that is for you. If you feel comfortable and you want to hang like a monkey and go side to side, that's fine. Whatever feels good for you. Just saying hello to the hamstrings, just kind of warming everything up. And then then if you're able to turn the heels in a little bit and bend the knees, coming into Sun Goddess. So I'm just trying to keep my upper body nice and tall and still, and feeling the legs work. I'm always noticing where the knees are compared to the ankles. That looks good. So it's always a wide stance here. One more deep breath. You can straighten, you can jump or step in, coming to the front of your mat. We'll bring the arms all the way up, deep inhale. At the top, reach back as far as you can. And then exhale, you're gonna come into a little ball. So I'm pressing everything together, inner thighs, my palms, my chin to my chest. And then I come up like a rocket, deep inhale again. And then exhale, going into that little ball. Inhale. Last time. Then we get to do the other side. So we're moving through this. It's it comes up, however you want to move your arms through it. Warrior 3, and then back into that crescent lunge. You're trying to find stillness, even though you're moving, maybe with your breath or your mind. Being intentional. We'll do one more. And then setting into that crescent lunge, we're gonna turn, so we're in Warrior 2. So now my right foot's gonna be forward, left foot's gonna be turned. And I'm just going from straight, inhale, exhale, into the Warrior 2. So you're just basically warming up your hip there. And always notice the front foot. You can see the big toe side of the foot. So we're warming up the knee, the ankle, and the hip. And I like to inhale as I go up and then exhale as I go down. Movement to it, so when you come down for the bend, you inhale and you reach back. As you come back up, you exhale and you go straight.
Is the front knee still bent?
So the knee bends as you reach back,
Oh, gotcha.
and then it straightens as
Oh.
you.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of
That was good.
strange
I did
because you're
the
leaning the
opposite.
opposite way of the bend. But you were doing it.
Okay.
We'll do a couple more. Holding that Warrior 2. And then warming up the hands again. And this time kind of spitting them off and squeezing the shoulder blades together. So coming forward, abs are tight, my ribcage comes down. I might even tuck my chin in, get warm, and then I open up. We'll do 2 more. Last one. So hopefully you feel a nice stretch in the shoulders, feeling warm. We're just gonna go side angle to Warrior 2. Just feeling the stretch. Noticing that bend in the front knee. joints feel protected and soft. We'll do one more. Coming up tall, turning the toes towards each other. And just finding if you like to walk your hands over to one side and then the other side, you can do that, or you can go back and forth, or just hold in the middle. You might even bend one knee at a time and get the inner thighs open, whatever feels good for you. Maybe you be playful with it. And then coming into the center, drawing up the belly button, the pelvic floor, rolling all the way up, and you're turning your heels in, your toes out. So you're going back into that sun goddess. And then this time if you can go cat and cow. So I'm rounding, I'm pulling in. As I exhale and I inhale, I look up. You can make this as big or small as you'd like. You're just waking up the whole body. And then slowly coming all the way up. Jumper step in. Coming into the center. We're going to do some massage. So we're going to start with the top of the head, maybe making little circles, whatever feels good. Oh yeah. And then starting to move in the neck. I like to kind of draw lines from the spine outward, but you can do circles, whatever feels good for you. Maybe you can warm up your hands this way.
Leave them in here.
Just leave them in here forever. And then we'll do the tops of the shoulders. Now I'm just pressing down and making little, like kneading bread. So we all do that all the time. Or I don't anyway. Right. It might be this big if I did that all the time. And then on the chest, you're just kind of moving down and away from the neck and letting the head drop back. If it's comfortable just to leave your hands down so you're getting a little extra stretch, you can do that. If this for any reason doesn't feel good for you, you can put your hands wherever you like. And then looking forward, and I'm basically from the middle of the chest outward, I'm just saying open up, good posture. Sometimes we need a little reminder. And if you'd like to, you might get a little deeper. A lot of attachment points are here, so we're just kind of moving around and getting in there. That feels okay. And we'll do the other side. So starting from the center and moving out to the shoulder, just thinking about good posture. My abdomen comes a little tighter. I get a little taller. Breathing. And then maybe I'm massaging in towards the armpit. Maybe even getting the lymph system to move for me. And then we're gonna move to the mid part of the back. If you can, you kind of squeeze it and pull out from the spine. And then you can move to the lower back. You might do fists or you might massage it. And you can come right to like the ridge. That feels good. And then we'll move down the sides, the legs, either massaging or you can hit. And then up through the center. We'll just do that a couple more times. Just telling things to wake up. Wake up! And then we'll come to the hip flexors, and I'm doing an open fist, so they're not, real hard, but just to say no. bring the arms all the way up. Deep inhale. Exhale into the center. We're going to go through the sequencing again. So we're maybe getting lower this time. This time, if you want to, you can either stay here and just do the arms, or if you like to lift up the leg, you can. It's just kind of what feels best for you. I'm going to stay here. Think about sinking down a little bit deeper, but lifting with the head a little bit more. It's making lots of room between the chin and the pelvic floor. We're going to turn to the side, so we're in Warrior Two. So whatever side you're starting with, moving forward, arms can come out. And this time, we're going to do a big hug and lift up the elbows and try to keep the rib cage down so you're kind of fighting yourself, and then release it. And you can release it out looking forward. So you bring the other arm on top. I don't remember which one. Bring the hands, the elbows up. You try to resist the rib cage and then bring it down. We'll do 2 more. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, lift but not the rib cage. Exhale, inhale. Last time, other arm. And then we're just gonna, as we go back, so we're doing it the opposite way that we did it earlier. We're gonna straighten the leg, straight leg reverse warrior to Warrior Two. And you might get deeper here, you might not, it just kind of depends on how your body's feeling. Hopefully you're warm. We'll do one more. And then staying here nice and tall, we're just going into side angle and then back up to Warrior Two. And this is mostly to stay warm, so if you rather hold and you're warm enough for that, you can do that as well. So I'm feeling the strength of that front leg mostly. We'll do one more. Then we can straighten that leg, turn the feet so the toes are slightly pointing towards each other. Squeezing everything in. And if you can, you make fists and put them on your lower back, and you're just opening up from the sternum to the belly button, maybe looking at the tree. One more deep breath. And then you're thinking about hinging from the hips as you come forward. Keeping everything nice and strong and long. And then once you get to where you go, yep, that's it, then you can release the arms and find your place. Might be hands on the ground, it might be hands in between the legs reaching back, or it might just be hands on the thighs. One more deep breath. Slowly pulling yourself up, trying to use the back of the legs. And we'll turn the toes out, heels in, and sit back into the Sun Goddess. And if you like to, hopefully your ankles and everything feels good, you can maybe lift one heel at a time if it feels good with you. But notice your body, it stays really still, and you're just lifting one heel, so you're not really shifting weight, so you keep a lot more tension in the center of the body. Nice. We'll drop the heels, push through the heels and come up to standing. And then however you like to come up to the center of the mat, and you can kind of shake it out. We're gonna start with the hands. Did this one last week. Shake it off like a tree. And if you like to, you can kind of bounce with this. They say these are really great.
Ragdoll. I love it.
Good for your bones too, right?
That's right, good for the bones. Good to get your circulation going. They say that it releases toxins in the Eastern medicine, but they say do it for like 5 to 15 minutes. It's a little long. We're gonna do it for about 1. So
Strengthening that spine every minute.
that's right. And then we get the other side. You can kind of feel everything just.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything moves. It's good.
And we're gonna go on the other side. So this one you can go into the warrior 3 if you like, or just do the arms. So if you're going into the warrior 3, you might come up. Whoa, that's awful. That's okay. Or you might just do the arms. I think I'm opting for the arm. Go at your own pace. Your biggest thing, because this is our 3rd time in this position, you're trying to tuck the pelvis and get a hip flexor stretch. I'll do one more. And then we're going to go to warrior 2. So you're basically just taking that back foot and turning it. I typically do, I always switch so then we're mirror images of each other. Or do the same thing. Okay, we'll bring the arms out. And we're going to do, instead of the hug, we're going to do cactus arms. And we're bringing it up and back. But you're doing that same thing. You're kind of resisting your ribcage down. And then you're pulling it in more to bring the elbows together. So it's an inhale and then exhale. Keep in tension in the abs the whole time. Maybe you check your legs. Maybe your back leg just starts getting lazy and starts bending. Try to keep it straight. So I'll do a couple more. And we're gonna move to straight leg, reverse warrior. So we're straightening the leg as we reach back. And then as we come forward, we're going into warrior 2. You might need to set deeper, spread out if it feels good. This is a nice chance to look at the fog.
It's beautiful.
It's gorgeous.
Good for the
I'll do one more. And once you're here, just going from side angle to warrior 2. If you rather hold, you can always do that. Notice that back leg, it's set. It's squeezing. You're really thinking about squeezing your glutes. We'll do one more. And then straightening the legs, turning the toes, just slightly pigeon-toed. And finding where it's good for you. So a little different from the other side. And this time, if you're able to, you're gonna just bring one hand in the center of your legs. And if you're feeling good there and it feels good, you can turn, not pushing the arm, but just turn with the upper body and maybe bring the hand up. That feels okay. You don't have to go here. One more deep breath. And then we'll replace that hand. And you start to turn first and then the arm reaches up. We'll do one more time to each side, and if you'd rather not turn, that's okay. But it looks really good. And then slowly starting to bend the knees, come all the way up, taking your time. And we'll bring the heels in, the knees out. And this time if we can go into 5-pointed star. So I'm squeezing like my inner thighs towards each other, my pelvic floor, and you might go up on your toes and lift the heels, or you might just stay heels grounded. Kind of depends on your body. We're taking 3 more breaths, and if you can, try to relax the shoulders even though the hands are up. The legs are straight, feeling strong. And then bringing it down, jumping or stepping in, taking your time, coming back.
I need a calf stretch.
You need a calf stretch. I bet.
Continue.
And we'll just take a few deep breaths here. So maybe closing your eyes, just kind of resetting, just kind of noticing the body. Has anything changed for the better, for the worse? Just being in the moment. Just recognizing what you feel physically, emotionally, spiritually. We'll take 2 more breaths here. And now we're gonna make our way down to the mat, so hopefully you're still warm. If you need to double up the mat for your knees, feel free. We're gonna go on all 4s, so hopefully everyone's okay with that. How are we doing? Time is running quickly, so. All right, we're gonna shrug the shoulders and pull them back, and pull the abs in at the same time. I really like this movement because it shows you the range of motion your shoulders have. So I'm basically just shrugging my shoulders and then depressing them down the back. This is good to remember because a lot of times when we tense up, our shoulders start to make our neck disappear. So this is just something that you can do to sometimes release that tension. And then finding where your shoulders are set down, and we're going into bird dog. So we're just gonna lift the opposite arm, opposite leg, whatever side you feel comfortable with first. And then you can alternate to the other side. Think about pushing your heel back here, feeling strong and keeping the shoulders down. You can go at your own pace. About 3 more breaths, so you might stay on one side, you might go to the other side. Oh. No ants in your pants. And then finding child's pose, and if you'd like to, we can go in and out of child's pose if it feels good on your shoulders to keep warm. So you might go from child's pose back up to a kneeling plank, or just all 4s, or if you want to hold it, that's fine too. I just want to make sure that you're staying warm if you are cold at all. Each time you go through, you might go a little deeper. You might notice your shoulders, your neck, your fingers. If anything's holding on, you let go of it. Do a couple more breaths. And then if you're able to thread the needle, so find a good position where you can lift up left arm, thread it through, drop your head down. Find your breath in this moment. And then we'll gently go to the other side, taking your time. Trying to find rest. Bringing it back to center. And we'll make our way to our back. Hopefully you're warm enough. I'm just going to turn my mat so you can see me. And I'm going to keep my head down. And I'm thinking about my shoulders being depressed down my back, just like when we were practicing shrugging them. Pulling the abs in. And then if I can reach with my opposite arm, opposite leg. This is the beginner. I'm marching. I'm keeping my heels down. Intermediate would be my feet are floating and I'm tapping one foot down as I reach. And then the more advanced would be both arms and legs straight, and then the opposite arm reaches and pulls back in. So find what variation is going to serve you well, and think about your abdominals. So you should feel them, and remember to breathe. Take 3 more breaths here. Exhaling as you come together. And then maybe going into a ball, stretching out the back, or happy baby once you're finished. And then we're gonna find our final relaxation position. So you might end up hiding your hands in your pockets to stay warm, or whatever feels best for you, where you can be relaxed. And remember, the more you can relax, especially the muscles up on the top of your shoulders, the more circulation can flow. And then this is a time where I want you to really be mindful of where you're at. So you might feel kind of the mist on your face, or you might hear different noises, leaves falling, or cars going by, the music. And then go inward, how you're feeling. Are you warm? Are you cold? Are you happy? Are you sad? And I want you to kind of detach from that and see yourself from the outside rather than identifying with the feeling. So you're like a man on the mountain watching yourself. Maybe deep in your breath. Just observing, coming back, maybe moving your fingers and your toes. And then making your way up to seated position when you have the chance. So this podcast that I was recently listening to was talking about, he does brain research. He has all these degrees, unbelievable. But he's a professor at Harvard. And he talks about being able to observe your body going through emotions rather than being in the emotion, which is really interesting. So like detaching, and he said it's like the ultimate mindfulness, which I thought was interesting. He does a lot of research on Alzheimer's, and he came up with this acronym with his research, and it's SHIELD. And these are the biggest things that he's noticed, that people that he works with certain genetics that people that had it in their family before, and he was like, is there a way to prevent it if it was in the family, you know? And he's shown that even though you'll have the genetics for it, if you change your lifestyle, you don't have to necessarily get the thing. And he said it's high, like I think he said almost 90%. You can change and not actually, even if you have the gene, but if certain genes make proteins, and it's called epigenetics, and so all your lifestyle changes kind of manipulate the gene, and so what protein is going to be made or not made depending on what you're doing. And so these are the things that he came up with, that he's noticed a big difference in people and not getting Alzheimer's. So SHIELD was the thing. S is for sleep. He said 8 hours, because you're cleaning your brain during your sleep cycles. H was handling stress and trying to figure out, you know, how to handle stress well, doing mindfulness, meditation. I was interaction. He said that people that are lonely or by themselves have like a 50% chance higher of getting it than people that interact with other people. Exercise, he just said exercise is amazing. We're trying to get pills that do the same thing as exercise, but nothing has touched exercise because it's so amazing. So I was like, oh yay, I'm in the right field. And then L was for learn new things. Said when you're learning new things, it does make the brain work, and actually exercise produces maybe this is not the right time to say all this stuff, we've been doing this, but it produces new neurons. It's neurogenesis. Exercise can produce that, and so learning something new, that's why exercise in the morning's really good, because then you can learn something new, and you can have your synapses stronger, which I thought was awesome. And then the last one was diet, just a whole foods diet. He said more fiber, more whole foods. He noticed a big difference in people's brain scans. So, oh man, I'll have to look it up really quick because I don't remember his name.
I like that unfortunate.
Dr. Rudolph Tanzi, professor of neurology at Harvard Medical School and the director of the Alzheimer's GMO Project, recommends the following SHIELD plan. It was fascinating, and he has like 5